Imagine you are a border patrol operator in East Africa. It is, it's 100 degrees out, the humidity is completely suffocating, and, there are thermal drones scanning the dense brush right above you.
Yeah, and in that situation, your standard issue cotton uniform is basically a glowing beacon under those sensors.
Exactly right. So welcome to Raff Talks. You've joined us for episode 18, and each month we discuss interesting defense topics. Today we're looking at a stack of sources field reports, textile specs, and post-trip analysis from Raff Military Textile's strategic July 2026 delegation to Kampala, Uganda.
Right, a really crucial trip.
Yeah, so okay, let's unpack this month's focus, which is figuring out exactly what it takes to equip modernizing forces in, one of the world's most unforgiving environments.
And it really is an incredibly dynamic environment right now.
Yeah.
I mean, East African forces are rapidly modernizing. They need high-quality, reliable defense innovations, but they operate with, highly specific regional constraints.
Yeah, and they're looking for competitive prices too, right?
Exactly. And Turkish manufacturers are increasingly stepping in to meet this demand. But as our sources show, succeeding in Kampala isn't just about showing up with a catalog.
Right, because the environmental demands in Uganda are just brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, you have severe heat, heavy humidity, and then terrain where the temperature just completely plummets at night. So it's like designing high-performance athletic wear, but for life-or-death border operations.
That's a great analogy. And what's fascinating here is where the technical specs in these reports get really granular. We're looking at requirements for advanced moisture-wicking tactical gear combined with FR and NIR capabilities.
Okay, wait. So FR is flame resistant, which obviously protects against fire hazards. We know the tactical stakes there. But NIR, the near-infrared fabrics, that's a bit more complex, right?
It is remarkably complex, yeah, because it's not just about blending into the trees visually. It's all about reflectance. Night vision devices detect the difference in near-infrared light reflecting off objects.
Oh, so standard synthetic dyes might look green to the naked eye, but they look different under the night vision tech.
Exactly. Under those sensors, they reflect light completely differently than the surrounding vegetation. You would literally light up like a light bulb.
Wow. That is wild.
Yeah, so the textiles required here use specialized dyes and weaving techniques that, they absorb and reflect infrared light at the exact same wavelengths as the local East African foliage. You essentially disappear into the background noise of the thermal NIR sensors.
That is incredible. But, looking at the delegation's itinerary, they spent just as much time discussing patches and colors as they did the sensor-defeating dyes.
They really did, yeah.
So is this all just about the high-tech fabric, or does the uniform actually have to reflect the specific identity of the unit?
Oh, the customization is just as crucial, definitely. I mean, you can engineer the ultimate stealth shirt, but if it doesn't precisely integrate local insignia, specific rank displays, and exact regimental colors, it's totally useless to them.
Because of strict national uniform regulations.
Right. Uganda had incredibly strict regulations. Unit cohesion relies heavily on those visual cues, so the customization has to be flawless alongside the technology.
Which I guess explains a massive pivot we saw in the trip's timeline, because they started at the Sheraton Kampala doing these large B2B meetings, standard industry export stuff.
Yeah, the big conference room pitch.
Exactly. But then they wisely pivoted and shifted into days of one-on-one executive listening sessions. But wait, I have to push back a little here.
Sure, go ahead.
If the specs are this rigid, hitting specific IR reflectance and exact regimental colors, isn't business ultimately just about the bottom line and hitting those specs? Why spend days just listening?
Well, you would think it's just a math problem, right? Meet the spec, pitch a competitive price, win the contract. But the post-trip analysis makes it crystal clear that African defense procurement completely rejects quick transactional deals.
Oh, really? So it's not just a Western racket sales model?
Not even close. You cannot just fly in, hit the specs, and leave with a signed contract. Success in East African procurement means profoundly respecting local decision-making timelines.
So it's about building a long-term relationship then?
Exactly. The Ugandan procurement leaders need to know you actually understand the granular, day-to-day realities of their troops. So you have to take the feedback from those listening sessions, go back, and provide tailored, highly specific samples. It's about profound trust and proving reliability over months, not just days.
Which leaves you with a really provocative final thought to mull over. If securing defense contracts in emerging markets relies this heavily on slow, localized trust building and customization, how might this force massive traditional global defense giants to completely rethink their rapid sales models in the future?
Yeah, that is a huge question. The future of global defense procurement might look a lot more like local diplomacy than traditional sales. So it's definitely something to watch.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next month as we discuss another fascinating defense topic on Raff Talks.